Top to bottom. Top to bottom.
It's like a place on tumbling. I'm beautiful father. Everything is not funny. They will play me fun. I play. My neighbor press one. He close the phone.
ABC. Nigeria. From top to bottom. Top to bottom. Top to bottom. Top to bottom.
It's like a place on tumbling. I'm beautiful father. Everything is not funny. They will play me fun. I play. My neighbor press one. He close the phone.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Mazezoke speaking to us from top to bottom. Top to bottom. Things are really going from top to bottom. We will x-ray some of these things that are going from top to bottom. Once more, if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Mazezoke, and this is Njenje Media TV. Now, it's evening here, 3 minutes to the hour of 9 p.m. If you're joining me for the first time, please, by all means, do like the stream and share. Like, and share. Nigeria has gone from top to bottom. I recall 7 years ago, dollar was about 176. Today, dollar is over 600 naira to a dollar, 600 naira to a dollar. So that has tripled, because of what? Because we have a bunch of people who are mismanaging the economy and doing everything they can just to ensure that things doesn't work for you and I. But we must continue. If I bring in the president to say, Mr. President, do you honestly think that Nigeria is better today than it was when the people elected you? The people that elected you, not me. But let's ask him.
Are our children safe when they go to school? Are our parents safe when we leave them at home? Is the naira in your bank account of greater value today than it was 4 years ago?
You ask him, is the naira in your account of greater value today than it was many years ago? I don't know. Let's quickly start. For a start, let me say the following. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Wiwi and the Wiwia, has, it's now the, officially the flag bearer of the all press conference. And we say congratulations to him. He fought a good fight. And I tell you this, people, kid him not. There is something about dream. He had that dream of becoming a president of a nation. He worked for it. Hate him, like him, he worked for it. Whether he got it through bullion van, through whatever, he worked for it. Since 2007 that he ceased to be the governor of Lagos State, since that day, he has been working for it. He's not the president yet, because for him to be the president will be decided by you, Nigerians. And there is a cliche that is now surfacing online. When people say, oh yeah, that votes don't count. It's a lie, votes count. If votes don't count in Nigeria, why would politicians be paying you to vote for them? Think about it. Because if the votes don't count, they don't need to pay you. But because they know your votes count, that's why they will spend their stolen money in order to induce you to vote for them. That's why. Again, the Nigerian citizens have really woken up. The citizens are now going out of their way to go and get their PVC. They are going out of their way to go and get their PVC, which I think it's indeed something that is, I must say it's something that is of commendation, that people are now going out to go get their PVC. Having said that, but before I continue, let's quickly review the APC presidential primary. People made statement. People made, or aspirants made statements. They did, but in all the statement that they made, one man made a statement that stood out, and that was the former governor of Abia State, old Abia State, in the person of Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu used the last-ditch appeal to appeal to the conscience of the Nigerian delegate within the APC. Sadly, no one listened to him because, obviously, as everyone is aware, it appears that something has, that some undercut deals has gone under. When Ogbonnaya Onu made this, it got me thinking. I said, can politics be played on the altar of emotions, or on the altar of demanding for equity, or solely on strategy? There are two schools of thoughts here. One school of thought says, well, like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, go ahead there, go out there, fight it, get it, grab it, and it's a zero-sum game. You win it, you destroy your opponent, you go home victorious. That's all. But there is another school of thought, which is more in line with those that are human. If we take countries like Switzerland, for instance, Switzerland has Canton, Commune, that they rotate their presidency every year. It's not that Switzerland lacks competent people, that if they throw it open, if it's the English part of Switzerland, the German part of Switzerland has every tendency to keep governing Switzerland till thy kingdom come. But the question is, why would Switzerland not look that direction? Why would Switzerland think? We know we have Germans, French, Italians, English-speaking areas. Why would they want to carry everyone along? Why? Even when they know, they could say, no, this is democracy. It's the survival of the fittest. It doesn't matter. We are not zoning anything, because what they are doing in Switzerland is zoning. Yet these are people that many people look up to, because I tell people, when I visit Switzerland, whenever I visit Switzerland, I normally say that after Switzerland, the next place as clean, tidy, is how you imagine how heaven would look like. That's how tidy that place is. Very well organized. Many people say Germans are organized. Yes, Germans are. Swedish people are. But hey, I give it to the Swedes. Österreich. Man isn't, that's not man's hour. Now, if you look at, and if you stay on this trajectory, then you ask yourself, what is then Nigeria? What are we going to be doing? Ogbonnaya Onu made this passionate appeal. And let's listen to him.
Exceptionally important is that we must ensure that this justice is upheld. Now, Mr. President will be completing his tenure by 29th of May next year. I think, naturally, it should be somebody from the Southeast. I'm not saying this because I'm from the Southeast. Somebody from the Southeast that will now replace him. and that will give the opposite of South versus North and Christian versus Muslim, and it will bring stability to our nation. It will strengthen the unity of Nigeria, and I believe that this should have been done. And you know, I personally, 23 years ago, I made a personal sacrifice when there were three parties, and I held the presidential ticket of one of the three, but I had to let it go in order to solve a problem in the Southwest, to make sure that two Olus contested for the presidency, that head or tail, one will become a president. And that brought down tension in the country. And this is what would have happened if we allow the Southeast to, which is the, I mean, look at it. The Southwest has 8 years as president, 8 years as vice president. Well, can you, at the South, they have 8 years vice president and president. Where is the justice? Where is the justice? Where is the justice? We need to do what is right. May God bless Nigeria. May God bless our party. I thank you so much.
Where is the justice? You know, in content analysis, it is always right and advisable by the institutions that you rely on primary sources. Where primary sources are not available, then you go on to secondary sources. He said something here that I have heard from secondary sources for long, which is that he stepped down when he was the chairman of APP, right? APP eventually became ANPP. When you had the PDP, when you had the AD, and what he had to do under the APP was to step down for a Yoruba man to emerge from that party in order for 3 Yorubas to contest head or tail. Abiola was already dead. Abiola was killed by the military. He was only stepping down. He could have. Ewen Nayono, the man that just spoke, in 1999, 98, 99, won a presidential ticket of his party. He could have stayed there as Onyibo and said, Igbos must be represented. It is our turn. But he brought common sense to bear. You may call him coward. But again, in life, there are things that sometimes when you do them and these things happen, people may think you are a coward. But over time, people will begin to realize that for a truth, that individual wasn't really a coward. Yes, he did it that time for us to have stability as a nation. Many of you who are young enough to recall what was happening during the June 12th. June 12th was a crisis. There was a time people relocate, people ran away. Everyone was ready for war because we thought that war was broke. That's what happened. People ran away, literally running away. You can imagine you lived in Sulere, in Koka, in Amoadofin or whatever. You chartered Dinah, you chartered Gongoro, 911, 9/11. You took all your property, you headed to your village. A house, either you built it yourself or you rented it, you just packed your family, you went down the east because the tension in the land then was so much that everyone thought there was going to be another civil war. Obunionu, not only according to his first-hand information here, was among those who actually brought the tension down by the virtue of the fact that after contesting, common sense was spoken to him and he understood it. He saw the handwriting on the wall. He yielded his ambition. His ambition, he lowered it in order for others to contest. In that contest, finally, Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo emerged victorious. But even in Olusegun Obasanjo emerging victorious, even in former President Olusegun Obasanjo emerging victorious, Alex Ekwueme, who was defeated in that contest, could have, if he so desired, if he so thought that, oh, because him and a couple of others, including late Abubakar Remi, who formed from the G30, 34, 38 then, and formed it into PDP, that they should, or he should be among those that would govern. Bear in mind, when they were doing the G34 then, Obasanjo was nowhere to be found. Bear in mind, Obasanjo was in prison. Obasanjo was imprisoned by Sani Abacha on the false accusation that Obasanjo was planning a coup. So Ekwueme in 1999 is what you could have today talked about Tinubu, that he had paid his price. He used his money then to coordinate most of the meetings. Many of you who know Enugu very well, beside NEPA, in Enugu, where there's a hotel, Ekwueme owned it, called Modotel. Meetings were held almost every week. They were planning against the military. How do we bring down military? He used his resources. The things Tinubu did today could be equated that was the things Ekwueme did. But again, when they got there and police happened, he wasn't angry. Well, even if he was, but not in the public. But he yielded and he made a call because he was asked to please ask Ndibo to vote for Olusegun Obasanjo. Recall that at that point as well, Obasanjo was not liked by his people because they felt that he was among those that contributed to the woes of MKO Abiola. Obasanjo was never loved. The Southwest never voted for him. But again, the Southeast and the South came together and gave Obasanjo that massive vote. If we go back in 1993, when MKO Abiola, 1992 actually, when MKO Abiola was contesting for the presidential election that got into 1993, go check the results. The pattern of voting today is the pattern of the Yoruba pattern of voting today, where votes are split 45-55 or 50-50. That's how Ndibo voted. Massively. Go and check Otonwangu. Go and check Dr. Ezifede. These people voted massively for MKO Abiola. And here we have today, when the South, where Southern governors were demanding that power should return to the South, every average thinking person would be thinking, well, maybe they are making a case for equity and fairness, justice to reign. But it appears that is not the case. Had Nigerians, starting from the PDP, a party that Ndibo, majorly, the founding fathers of the PDP from that same zone. Because when I hear and I read people saying, Ndibo should get their ass together, they should be workers, and I'm like, are you normal? When a people since 1999 have paid their dues and are being in this party, the founding fathers, the financiers of that party, ab initio, from even when he wasn't a party, from the Southeast, being faithful to the party, voting the party, then a party that has rotation in its own constitution, a party that had in its own constitution rotation, the power should move between South and North. Then when power comes to the North, it's left for the North to decide. For equity's sake, Northwest has done twice. Whenever power is returning to the North, one should then think power should either return to the North Central or power should return to the Northeast. That is what any person of conscience should be demanding if we are to be a people of conscience. Well, many will say, well, in politics, there is no morality. But in life, politics is part of life. Politics is act of governance. Act of governance, you're going to govern human beings. Human beings, they do have feelings. These feelings is what they show you outwardly. Now, in the PDP, this mistake was made that they suddenly, when it came to the turn where people will say it is now for the Southeast to get someone. And I see, when I read, and I think some of us are indeed silly, when people say, well, and there are so many Igbo people that contest, I'm like, are you normal? How? In the last election, didn't you? In the last PDP presidential election, didn't you have Alhaji Atiku Abubakar there? Didn't you have Tambowa there? Are they from Nsukka? Didn't you have Bala Mohammed there? Is he from Bende? In this one, how many Yorubas do we have? How many Igbos do we have? Even when eventually some made some concessions and conceded. What am I driving at? In line with what Dr. Bonion said, when I watched this yesterday, he alluded to it. Ebony State Governor Dave Umahi also alluded to it. A couple of them also did. But again, the conscience, what I am alluding to is, if we want to be a nation, if we want to be a people, then we must not allow politicians divide us. Because those things that the delegates did, then let's say that the delegates were paid. Let's say that they have been hungry for the past 4 years. Now they have taken their bet. You and I, as Nigerians with our PVC, we must correct the senses of the politicians if we want equity and fairness and the nation to keep going on as an undivided entity. They have made mistake. The PDP, unequivocally here, I'm saying that the PDP has failed, and the PDP has failed the Southeast. They betrayed the Southeast. There is no two ways about it. PDP betrayed the Southeast. And I tell everybody from Southeast, I no regrets. There must be a payback time. That PDP should be shown the door. That is the only way you can, register your angst, to make sure and ensure that they do not get that which they denied you. There is no two ways about it. If it was a place you haven't paid your dues, then there could be some argument. But here you have paid your dues, and this then happens. It will then bring me to a point where people now, and when I then think about it, and I ask myself, so if that Mr. Peter Obi did not move out of PDP, haven't seen the gang up, because that's what it is. Haven't seen the gang up, if he didn't move out of the PDP, that would then mean that Nigerians would then argue now, oh, yeah, there is no Igbo there now, so there is nobody we can vote. But again, Peter Obi has given us the opportunity for Nigerians to prove if they actually want Nigerians to remain one, or to basically join the politicians to say, no, we can't. The ball is in the court of Nigerians now. The politicians have done the politics. They've done the politicking. Now it is on the ball of fellow citizens, fellow Nigerians, to now do the rest. In this election, you have four horse race. Here you have Ahmed Bola Tinubu from the APC. You have Atiku Abubakar from the PDP. You have Kwankwaso from NNPP, and you would eventually have, or rather you also have Mr. Peter Obi. Now let us look at competence. Among these men, who is the most qualified, who has the competence, who speaks from the heart, who is the one that is going to do these things that you and I yearn for with timelines to them, who has the zeal, the energy to do these things? Are we going to keep wallowing in this utter circle of idiosyncrasies, circle of incompetent people? For how long shall we keep doing that? If you and I, fellow citizens, are actually in the, if we want to correct those things that the politicians have messed up, an opportunity stares us in the face that we can now correct that. Now, there is something that happened in the APC campaign ground. Sadly, the one that had, or rather, that won this context in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the one they call BAT. I'm not insinuating anything, but it is worrying that every time and most times that he appears on some, every time and most times that he appears on some form of, stage, there appears to be either a wardrobe malfunction, multiple times, not one, not twice, that people are able to pinpoint that his backside appears to be soaked. His abada appears to be soaked. There are some people now refer to him as the wee master, or, in the Chinese films, as they say, the snake and the monkey shadow, the wee and the ya. However you look at it, it is concerning that when you look at it, that Nigerians, after 8 years of having a president who spent most of his first tenure in foreign hospital without building any hospital at home, even up to today, even when he knew he was sick, even when he then eventually became sick, recovered from his sickness, was unable to build, even if the one he will use with himself and family, even if it's the cabal, but at least let it be that he's in Nigeria. Sadly, he didn't. Now, Nigerians are seeing all the signs here again that this man, there are some pipe leaking somewhere that, need to get some plumbers to begin to fix some things. And also because, you and I can be sick. No mistakes about that, please, people. Don't misunderstand me. If I'm sick, of course, I take a rest. I take a rest. But not that I'm sick. I'm pretending not to be sick. I'm doing everything that I can in order to still keep pushing. Now you watch this video, you tell me if this is normal. For him, just in a space of, in that speech that he gave, all this paper was shaking. Just to turn a page. Just to turn a page. You can see that. These things are not made up. These things are not made up. Again, I say, politicians are doing their politics. Nigerians are the ones that will decide. The fellow citizens, the commoners like you and I, appeal to your conscience. How do we want to define this marriage? Do we want this marriage to continue, or do we want this marriage to end? The decision is ours. If a case of fairness, equity, whatever, blah, 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 do we want this marriage to continue? But on a lighter note, people, I must not. Recall that Tunde Bakare once told us that God told him that after President Buhari, the 15th president of Nigeria, he will be the 16th one. Recall, on this platform, we don't forget these things. He said it then. I thought, well, I don't know, maybe he had a deal with President Muhammadu Buhari without necessarily knowing that, you know, what they discussed, right? Recall there was a time Tunde Bakare actually gaslighted Ndibo by the virtue of the statements he made then. Sorry, by the virtue of the statements he made then, which obviously, I mean, I came up here, I debunked it when he talked about Ndibo killing the former premier. But again, in the person of a man that I respect so much, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, I wouldn't want us to get to that point. Let me take this question. I think it's a very good question. My honest question is, will the Igbos vote P2B 100% in the general election? I do not think so. The same Igbos who couldn't trust SC aspirants with their votes. I think this is very, very, and again, I'm happy you made this comment. This comment is very, very misleading, and that is that cliche that has overtaken the airwave. And I'll address them one by one. Would Igbos ever vote P2B 100%? No, Igbos wouldn't. Why would they? Igbos are a Republican people that have their own sense of thinking. That means I wouldn't expect, and that would be utter impossibility for Ndibo to do, to vote P2B 100%. But I can tell you this, that majority of Ndibo, and I can prove to you this night, majority of Ndibo would vote for P2B as long as he is in this race. And I am personally happy that he is in this race, that he is given an opportunity for Ndibo to, for Nigerians not to say, because remember, when this election cycle started, all you heard was, oh, there was no an Igbo person of note. I recall when I spoke to Dele Momodu on this platform. I asked Dele Momodu, then P2B hasn't declared. You are contesting for this election. Who would you ever step down for? He said, no, he hasn't seen any Igbo person contested. Bear in mind, by the time Dele Momodu was saying this, Oho Abunwa is in the race. Anyim Pius Anyim is in the race. Dr. Anakwenze hasn't declared them. And on this platform, and the video is still going, you can go and watch it. And he said that it is only P2B whom he knows that the man is competent, that the man is equal to the task, will be the only person who will ever consider to step down for. That's a presidential candidate saying this on this platform. Now, if you take that in mind, then ask me, did the Yorubas 100% vote for Bola Tinubu? Of course, the answer is no. Some of them preferred, myself included, if not that, if Peter Obi was not in the race, my candidate remains Professor Yomi Osinbajo from the Southwest, right? From the Southwest, if at all. But again, asking that even people will vote for them, I mean, that is being, ingenious by half, because it has never happened in a family of 6. Very unlikely that everyone would also stand by your side. That would be, thinking out of reality if you ever think that Igbos will vote 100%. But I can guarantee you that Igbos will give him a very, very massive vote. And I proved that to you this night. Therefore, why don't other Nigerians join in the Igbo to select, not only because he's Igbo, the most qualified and the most competent of them all, without exception? I make bold to say that. Much better than Tinubu, health-wise and otherwise, in terms of content upstairs, in terms of the energy to drive. Nigeria is a very big country. When every other aspirant was, oh, there is no Igbo person, there's no Igbo person, the moment he declared that he wants to run the election, within a space of 30 days, he crisscrossed 36 states of Nigeria. Sorry, in a space of 21 days, he covered the whole state of Nigeria. Now, tell me any other aspirant that done that, with the exception of Osinbajo, who did that on the expense of Nigerians. Peter Obi used not chartered plane, not private plane, the normal plane that you and I entered. That's what he used in crisscrossing the whole nation. And somebody will still come and say, is he interested? Is he serious? How else? Until he removes his brocos and puts under the table and cut it into pieces, then you know that he's serious. Right? Again, the time that this game has moved from the hands of the politicians to the hands of ordinary Nigerians is now. We must tell ourselves now, not politicians, eyeball to eyeball, how one take leave, how one take do this thing. Like that part that Rotimi Amaechi actually, to a point, said that this election will be a referendum on ourselves. And Nigerians, do we really want to? And I extend Amaechi's statement and say that this 2023 election will be a referendum on those who want Nigeria to continue in the old trajectory and those who are the new generation of democratic NSAS participants to take steps and steer the ship of this nation in the right direction. Now, if I bring back Tunde Bakare and I go back to what Bakare said, then I ask myself, did God fail Tunde Bakare? I repeat, Bakare told us that God told him. You see, sometimes when people tell me about prophecy, why I don't say anything about prophecy is, no be me and you sleep. You wake up, you say, God called you. I no follow you say the missed call. God called you. Maybe, I don't know. But here is Bakare telling us that after Buhari, he will. This is this video was recorded in 2019. That after Buhari, he would be the next president of Nigeria. Yesterday at the Eagle Square, up to this morning, up to this afternoon when the votes were counted, Tunde Bakare, pastor, a doctor, paid 100 million to pick a form. To the point that not one vote, not even one vote to tell him thank you for coming. Not one. Not one vote. Yet God told him. And I asked, did God lie to him? Or did he not hear when the missed call came? When God spoke, did God speak in another language that he didn't understand? Listen to him.
Take it to the mountaintop. If you have never heard it before, I'm saying it to you this morning. In the scheme of things, as far as politics of Nigeria is concerned, President Muhammadu Buhari is number 15, and yours sincerely, I'm number 16. I've never said that to you before. I never said that to you before. I make it plain this morning. I let you know it this morning. Nothing can change it. In the name of Jesus, he is number 15. I am number 16. To this end was I born, and for this purpose came I into the world. I prepared you for this for more than 30 years. That's why if he wants to run in 2019, I do not oppose. He's still number 15. It's when he steps out that I step in. His assignment is that of Moses to take Nigeria to River Jordan, but he can't cross it. He will take a Joshua to go to the other side and begin to distribute resources to the people of this nation.
Oh dear, to the people of this nation, did you hear that? Buhari will be number 15 and he will be number 16. I assure you,
I assure you that our government. But I assure you. I assure you. I want to assure you. I assure you.
I thought Buhari assured him. I don't know. Now, sorry, something funny then happened. You see the same thing he said here. He expanded it yesterday night. He made allusion to some of the things that Buhari told him. See, this Buhari, he can be very crazy sometimes. That's why he laughs.
You.
Tunde Bakare then, when after, because obviously they are given time for them to make their speeches, Tunde Bakare came up and he repeated the things he's been saying for so long. He said that Buhari told him, or rather that the reason why Buhari, picked him up, when Buhari ran with him in 2011. It's not that, how do I put it mildly? The problem here is not that he said the things he said, but it's just Buhari's reaction when he was saying it. I said, this is epic. Now look at what Buhari did when Tunde Bakare was saying this. Look at what Buhari did here. Buhari, now come now, waiting, where you did? Now listen to Tunde Bakare and listen to Buhari's reaction. Listen, the cameraman panned at Buhari when he was making these assertions.
President Muhammadu Buhari said to me that he chose me because, having examined my records and trajectory, he was convinced that should the need arise, he will confidently have Nigeria to my care, assure that I will hold the nation together. Mr. President,
I think at this point, Buhari will be saying, Kai, Mutani Nigeria. This man, he dey talk like this. He never understanding, I don't lie to this man. Never understanding. If he Asari Dokubo are there here, I will tell him in 70
How many
years,
times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. Oh. Now mumu na too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise. You are a mumu man.
I didn't say that. Asari Dokubo, don't put me for trouble. But if Asari Dokubo is not putting me for trouble, you see the story, the face Buhari was doing there, it's like, let me tell you, if Mommy G.O. is giving us this testimony, imagine the face Buhari was doing. Imagine the face when Mommy G.O. tells you this.
I later still marry because of my lack of knowledge to wrong person. But you know what? When that man married to me, he was once my boyfriend before I became born again. Oh. When we now marry, the day we met, this man stood up, say, "For me, what is happening now? Are you not formally my girlfriend? Why am I sleeping like with you and you become virgin again? Why?" It took this man more than 30 minutes before he can penetrate, because I automatically become virgin again. Yes, my husband was surprised. Say, "What? How come your body became close?" I pray and he answered me. And I'm not joking. He can do it for you again.
You see, I'm not, I haven't said anything. But if Buhari was listening, Buhari would say,
You
Me, all I will say, you get it?
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
So if you don't get it, forget about it, because that is what it is. Now, my good brother, Amedu, they again wrote a comment saying, my problem with P2B is that most of his supporters are on social media, or rather are social media noise makers. I read their comments, I laugh. Social media has never won any election in Nigeria. Again, my dear good brother, you mistake. It's a lie. Bloody lie. APC won 2014-15 presidential election majorly due to the usage of social media, which they learned from Barack Obama. Most of the things that they fed the public was lie, amplified lie. We had a gobble in the person of lying machine. You know who I mean when I say lying machine? The liar Mohammed, the Ogidigbo, the one that even the grandchildren questions online.
When my 7-year-old grandson called me and said, Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why did they call you liar Mohammed?
Why did they call him liar Mohammed? I didn't call him liar Mohammed. You didn't call him liar Mohammed. But his grandchildren are questioning, Papa, Grandpa, why are they calling you liar Mohammed? Because in 2015, they used lies through social media to deceive Nigerians. If you recall, if you're old enough to remember, in 2013, when Sanusi, the former emir, started with, billions of dollars missing, suddenly it comes down. Millions of dollars missing from the NNPC unremitted account. Oh, okay, we have reconciled. It's no longer 450, now it's 275. Sorry, it's 170. And APC was running it. You recall Sahara reporters under Yaradua and Goodluck Jonathan. Someone was in Aso Rock giving them detailed and leaked information. That was not done through this day newspaper or Vanguard or Punch. Those were done through the social media. And I tell us, when some of us say, P2B supporters are only on the social media, I say, guys, you never know what's in there happen. Let me show you how social media works. The video you're going to watch is recorded. This video was recorded yesterday. I'll tell you the background story. When they tell you that P2B has supporters who are only on social media, tell the person they are flocking. P2B and what is happening in Nigeria now has awakened the youth. The consciousness of the Nigerian youth are wide awake, like someone who's taking 3 cups of decaffeinated coffee. 3 cups. That's how they are. People are coming out. Alaba closed down yesterday. Some section of Alaba is closing down tomorrow for people to just go and get their PVC. But there is no way INEC is failing the people. You will see a legal action. Let me not say more than that, but INEC, we're going to take INEC to court. Because you cannot come in a large, vast place where people, INEC is even saying in their report in June, I think June 4th, that they are overwhelmed in Anambra State. INEC, that they are overwhelmed. People are now complaining, you want to go, they say you come and sweep INEC. People go as 5 o'clock in the morning to be in the queue. This is what you call social media. Listen to it. You call social media, right?
Merci, no, you will go for task. That is what. You will go get a tax. Don't worry. No problem. That's a serious. Man, our laptop with the problem. Okay, you mean so laptop?
No. They say they're only on social media. People on social media are saying INEC. You will be marveled. Look, people came to stadium and sat down. Over 2,000 people came out. Every blessed day they are coming out just to register. And you think they are only on social media, right? Over 2,000 people come out. Look at the video. Over 2,000 and what they are now saying is, if INEC wants us, we will donate our laptop. He said, I will donate my own desktop to ensure that this registration is done. And some people are saying it's only online. Listen to him.
Wait.
They only came out with 2 laptops. And so many hundreds of people are here. Now, I only came out, or he is now holding the ear. I only came out because of Obi. I have never voted. I wasn't interested. But this time around, if it's not for Peter Obi, I won't come out. Nothing would ever bring me out, but I just came out because of Peter. Okay, look at it now. The same thing is happening in Festac. People were protesting today. Festac, they said there is no material, there is no machine, and you tell me that these will not be postponed. Listen, you are seeing a democratic endsars. What you will see is before people they play football. You tell me someone who spent money, someone who spent his energy, someone who stood on the line for days, get PVC. PVC is now the new gold. It's now your new cryptocurrency. You go and keep it safe. You go and put it in the middle of your Bible. Your study Bible, not the one you read every day. The study one, go and keep it somewhere. Where the way you hide dollar, that's where you're going to do it. And this is what people tell me. Amadi, Dele, you're telling me that it's online, and this is online for you. Look at it. Look at human beings. And this is what we say, that the supporters are only online. Look, these people are online. This is Twitter. This is Facebook. Look at human beings. Everyone came out to register, and they only gave them 2 machines, two laptops, Dia, BU, O2. And all these people, look. And people were patient. People were patient. And these are people you call social media noise makers. Don't worry. This time around, this noise will be made, and this noise will be made right. These are what I call the endsars. Look at stadium. Look at people seated everywhere just to get ready. Patiently waiting on. Not 2% of them were able to register yesterday, and they went home. Today again, look at it. People come to register. Look at them in a stadium. And somebody will say they are social media noise makers. Okay, don't worry. So what we are saying is that in 2015, of course, Jonathan were some of these things he did that messed things up, and the slogan was change. People didn't know somewhere, even whether the change meant chain, we didn't know. Like my good friend Aminu, that always happiness more because he has voted. But I don't know where he is. I've been looking for him now to come and tell us how happy he is after voting.
Have you voted?
I'm voted, yeah.
Okay,
I'm happiness, I'm voted, yeah.
Tell me your feeling after voting today.
Yeah, after voting, I'm feeling okay. What I want, I get it on the result. I'm getting the party I want is the one going on. Thank you for that.
What are you expecting from these people you voted?
I'm voted. They can do what you want, and then when they want what they want, inshallah, we're happiness more, isn't it? So then please, I want to beg them. We suffered almost 10 hours. We are standing because of what we want. We need change, and then the person we need, he's the one on the party we want, isn't it? So please, we want change.
Change? What kind of change?
The change of situation which we are now.
What is the situation you are in?
Situation of sufferness.
Isn't it? Yeah, we are so far. How many years? As you see, 12 years forward. I mean, almost 40 something years. I don't know what his government did for me. Is it come out of this like this radio? I don't know. I don't know. Actually, yeah. I have to complain. I mean, Nigeria really. Almost 40 something, I don't know what his government. So I need change. The person I know is going to change this thing by force, whether the leader they want or not. Any person which is bad, he must escape in this country, or he be hidden like how they are hiding a poor people inside prison, which you don't have a court attendant. Inshallah, we need Buhari to change this country.
Now you have the Buhari, and we have changed indeed. The only thing that we change is that we have changed from tough to bottom. We have indeed gone from tough to bottom.
ABC, Nigeria, Nigeria, from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom.
This one Nigeria is all tumbling. Everything is not funny. Aeroplane is funny. I play. My neighbor press fall.
From tough to bottom. From tough to bottom. So when, reason why we infuse some comic to do is that never a problem for your head. You break your neck. But on a serious note, how do you then tell people that a people that are now coming out, north, west, south, east, everyone is wanting to get the PVC to cure the madness, because now people have said, okay, if you agitate, you die. If you go on the street, they shoot you. If you doubt, there were some people, our sons, daughters, sisters, brothers, their crime was that they demanded that police should stop killing them. And they all came out across Nigeria. Suddenly, those who ought to protect the territorial integrity of your nation, those who ought to protect that nothing should befall, no evil shall befall those children, those younger ones, went there at night, turned off the camera and shot them. Shot them. Some of them died, evacuated, everywhere cleaned up. After cleaning the whole environment, an investigative minister walked. Suddenly, he saw the camera, even all the cleaners were not able to say, voila! God is a miracle worker, and the rest is history. Till today, was anyone held accountable for that? No. If government is failing you, those that knew about that shooting, even when they were confronted, what they said, we need to know where they are there, who were they, and what they were doing there, and all the rest. That's how to heal. Hearings, if you ever have gray matters in between your skulls, the only revenge you need is with your PVC. The only revenge you need, the only language they must understand. Let no one tell you that your vote doesn't count is a lie. Your vote counts. If your vote never counts, they will never offer you any money. They will never offer you any monetary inducement. The reason why they want to pay that you vote for them is because your vote counts. Your vote counts. Now, let's leave Enugu, for instance. Because some of you may argue, and some of us do, that, okay, this is only in Enugu. Well, if this is only in Enugu, maybe we get down to Owerri, I think. Where is Owerri? Let's get down to Owerri and see also if Owerri is only on social media. Owerri, where are you? So, and this is Owerri again. So maybe it's not true. You tell me.
Assunta Cathedral. Let the number of people today can register like a PVC. In your name, 2023 had it easy. So, yeah, now Assunta Cathedral. And they bury me PVC. Here, Akahako. You're almost 1,000 here. Assunta Cathedral.
So this is not that he's saying we're almost 1,000 here. We all have eyes. We can see these numbers. These numbers are people who have come out to say we must vote. And in voting, our vote must count. In Abuja, I am aware of arrangement people are making in day-to-day market. In Wuse market. I know people who have reached out to me and I know stuff happening that people would then have to support, make some support. For me, that's a better way to spend resources. And these resources would be spent to mobilize the INEC staffs to see that they come out. And people are registered. People, the game is on. The game, I repeat once more, the game is on. Now, again, I don't know, some of you say, well, God didn't fail Tunde Bakare. I don't know. Did God give him a missed call that he didn't see? I don't know. Was he only thinking out of his imagination that God wasn't speaking to him? I don't know. Let him with his God. But again, he is the one that told us that God spoke to him. Well, sometimes we get confused. If actually we're in Australia or we're in Austria. Why? Because we never know. And if you don't know, go ask our good brother, Odumeje, Oduha Eje, not me, but Odumeje. Go and ask him.
This is your dream.
Amen.
I saw you want to enter Australia.
Australia, yes, sir.
Australia.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Oh, Bodom. You want to enter Australia?
Yes, sir.
Australia is and Australia. They are the same. Sonyata. Australia and Australia, all of you. All area.
Oh, no, area. Oh, no, area. Oh, dear. But again, I have a message for us before I close. The youth has this message for everyone. They say in 2023, they have new power. They have what they call PVC. They have what they call the Ganduje. I mean, they sent this message through their prophet, Odumeje, because if Ganduje doesn't work, they will implement
I have so many
one.
power. I have Abido Shaker. I have never touched those ones. I have the Boost Kabach. Yes. I have Gandusa. Mbeg Iwalonius.
Agebe. Ndị na-ekweghị, onye na-ekweghị, a ga-ekwetala ya. Ganduje. That's what it is. On that note, I say thank you once more. Thank you very much for being part of this. I am struggling not to make it exceed an hour. And join me on Saturday, 5 o'clock Nigerian time. Obviously, the Friday out is there. But on Saturday, we will have 5 o'clock an activist from the north, from Kaduna, join this program. He has a very, very, very unique insight that many of you down south don't know. Don't miss it. It's going to be an interesting program on this platform. Saturday, 5 o'clock, Nigeria time. And I say to us, good night and remain blessed. Bye-bye.